So I'll just briefly introduce myself. My name is Julie Teigland. I'm the CEO of Ernst & Young here in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And I'm really excited to be here because I think life sciences is a tipping point. Saskia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, happy to do so. Hello, everyone. Saskia Steinacker. I'm with Bayer, and I'm the head of digital excellence and leading the digital transformation of the company.
Simone.
Simone Menne. I have been the CFO of Lufthansa and after that of Boehringer Ingelheim. And because of Boehringer Ingelheim past, I'm really attached still to healthcare and digital and the opportunities we have there.
So I personally think life sciences is really, as I said, at a tipping point. The world is changing. The ecosystem is going to change. That doesn't come without challenges, but a lot of new things. Simone, let's start with you. I hear an awful lot about the big four, and I don't mean my big four. I mean the big A's. What do you think?
Well, healthcare is a huge business. It's a lot more than advertisement. At the moment, they are earning their money a lot with advertising, but they want to go into healthcare and lifestyle. And they have huge opportunities because they have the data already. So the possibilities for them are huge, and they are working on that already. You may have heard Amazon is having their own employees together with JP Morgan to have a crowd of people and working with them on their healthcare. So that is an opportunity. Google X is working a lot on moonshots in the health area, and Verily from Alphabet also. So I think there are huge opportunities for them, and I think Amazon may be the healthcare leader in 2025.
Wow. Saskia, what do you think? I mean, where does Bayer stand in this?
Yeah, of course, I have a slightly different opinion on that, but basically not too far away. So in my opinion, we can unlock the potential of all these new technologies if we really have a combination of biology, engineering, and the data science. And I think this combination actually helps us then to bring the best solutions to the patients. And what I think is, like my company or the others established ones, we bring the first two, the biology and the engineering, whereas the others add the data science piece. And my take is that together we can then absolutely bring these new things to the market. So.
Saskia, I think all of us have been reading, hearing, and actually working a lot around some new regulation that was implemented here in Europe, GDPR. It's almost seen as a curse word and an inhibitor to innovation because it's directed big companies have it easier than little companies. I think there's some opportunity, though, in that. For example, blockchain. And not only blockchain, but maybe AI. Simone, what do you think? Is blockchain a possible accelerator for us in life sciences?
I'm obviously not an expert, but the sensitivity of patients' data is obviously something which everybody keeps very valuable for himself, herself. And I think as blockchain gives you the opportunity to decide who shall see your data and who shall not, that is an opportunity to get more data, but still keeping it in the responsibility of the patient, the individual itself. And therefore, we may work better with patients' data. So I see that as an opportunity. And I, by the way, think data security and safety and regulations in this regard should not be damned, as I sometimes hear on this conference, because nobody wants that your own data is misused, especially when it's your health data.
I agree, and I would even add on that, Simone, actually GDPR, and I definitely don't want to defend the regulation, but I do want to say it's a simplification across Europe. As opposed to dealing with individual country rules, we've actually been able to, for the first time, actually combine and establish an umbrella. It's not so bad. But if we leave blockchain, Saskia, what are you guys doing around artificial intelligence? How is that going to play?
Well, this is definitely an exciting technology, also helping us. We see a lot of opportunity, for example, if you think about the very critical moment in healthcare, the diagnosis. So what, for example, if you have a patient, you have a doctor, they sit in front of a CT scan, for example, if you have lung disease or something similar, And what you can do is with these new technologies, for example, then have these pattern recognition, like software, actually providing you information like with this, exactly what you have in front of us. How did others diagnose? Like what was diagnosed? What was the treatment? And that could really support the best diagnosis in that moment and subsequently the best therapy as well as the best outcome. So we see in the diagnosis moment, but also definitely in clinical trials. That's something where we also see a lot of opportunities in, for example, moving from in vitro to in silico. That's something where really doing all these tests, for example, with computer simulations, or if you think about the clinical trials, the patients, like variables, we there absolutely could do remote monitoring, and instead of bringing the patients to the trials, bring the trials to the patients. So huge opportunity we are currently looking into, but again, future will tell how far we can actually push it there.
Simone, what do you think? We have all these startups here in the audience. All the great things that Saskia are talking about require one big thing, a lot of money. Is that something only the big A's are going to be able to afford, or do you see opportunities, and how would you do that? Startups, and what would you recommend?
I think it's a great opportunity for startups. Healthcare and life science is good business, and the big companies very often do not have this very creative, innovative ideas, not even the big four. So a startup with an idea in this area has really an opportunity to then get it financed. And this is, at the moment, in pharma industry, what is happening already in the research. Yeah, there are small research offices, and they start to research on a drug, and later on, a pharma company is buying that. Yeah? So this same opportunity is there for startups. And I recently have been in the university in Düsseldorf, and we were talking about automotive health. And there you talk about, is there a possibility to use AI and use the car as a data collector or even for diagnosis? You can diagnose, for example, eye sicknesses or dementia by movement. And the car could be in an area there. So there are so brilliant ideas when you bring sectors together, and this is, I think, what startups are great about, and we heard a lot about that this morning, and we will hear a lot more, so I think startups have a huge opportunity in this area.
Saskia, can startups do it alone? Is it something that we want to see lots of startups, obviously? What do you think about partnering, not partnering? Is it a way? What do you guys think?
No, partnering, absolutely. I think specifically for us, having, I want to say, the startups who move fast, who have disruptive ideas, like Simone also said, really have also sometimes a spark of new things they're bringing up. That's absolutely important. What we do, we have accelerator program, our grants for apps. We also have dealmaker programs. This is how we basically want to bring the best of both worlds together. Our experience, our infrastructure, but then on the other hand, the innovative ideas of the startups. So.
And are you willing to do that without giving up control? Can you find an appropriate medium to work together?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what you definitely need to do is you cannot bring them in and then you have our corporate structures. So what we do is, yes, we have a sort of accelerator program where they come to us, but in a startup-like environment, I want to say. And they have access, for example, to mentors from our end, which is very important because, you know, specifically in life sciences or some pharma, for example, lots of regulations, and you mentioned all the data questions and so on. So what we see there is how can we basically take their innovative idea and then understand the business, understand these regulations, and basically help them to get things really fast into the market and really see if there's a great value for the patient. And I think that's the ideal combination of both.
So if we were going to think of a future of life science, we said it's kind of at the tipping point. Would you guys see life sciences being more outcome-driven in that respect? Do you think we could move to a world where life sciences becomes more outcome-driven?
Well, I would hope so. I think the technologies will definitely give us, let's say, the means to go towards that direction, but there's still a long way to go.
Simone,
there are models already, and I think it's really important for mankind that we do not treat sickness, but we help that people do not become sick. And that's, of course, the challenge, to find a model that, that pharmaceuticals, drugs, or any other life science instrument gets paid because of avoiding costs. And there are models already, especially in the US, where pharma industry is trying out these kind of models. And that should be the future, because that is good for mankind. But obviously also the pharma companies need some money. So you need a financial model. It's tricky, but I think it will come.
It'll come. So outcome-based, a pairing of data science with bioelectric technology and medicine across the board to serve treatment, to move to more preventive as opposed to just reactive medicine for the future. And we're hoping that all these startups play a great role in the room. Any last pieces of advice for them?
Well, be brave enough to approach the big ones, because very often they are desperately waiting for new ideas, and a lot of big companies are open. And be patient with them, because they are sometimes really, really slow and hierarchical. And that is
Not Saskia, Simona.
No, of course not Saskia, but I know some big companies.
Well, what can I say? No, I think one thing is really important, which you touched on. So I think our success, and I don't mean our as Bayer, I mean really us as humans, so to say, that we really have the answer to certain challenges will be in the combination of startups, big companies, like really the ecosystem. I think we need to become open to really collaborate together. And I think that's something, like you said, please approach us. We're really happy to collaborate. I cannot promise that we are so fast. Might be some slowness in the game, but no, overall we're very willing, because we also understand there's a huge, huge potential and opportunity at our hand here.
I think that's the best words to close on. Life sciences is a huge opportunity to future, working together, changing the way preventive medicine is done. Through collaboration, new models are out there. Be brave, and I would expect that we'll see next year a lot more in this sector at the NOAH. Thank you all very much for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you.